Carpenter bees are a fascinating insect and are a very important part of our ecosystem. However, when they invade our property, sometimes control methods are necessary. Hi, I'm Keith McCoy with Solutions Pest Lawn, and I want to show you our 4-step process in eliminating carpenter bees. Let's get started. The first step is identification. In this case, carpenter bees. Carpenter bees are often mistaken for bumblebees, which are usually about 3/4 in length. They're yellow and black, their abdomens are hairy, and they like to burrow into the ground to nest. On the other hand, carpenter bees are usually anywhere from 3/4 up to 1 inch in length. They're also yellow and black, however their abdomen is hairless and a black shiny color. They prefer to nest in soft woods such as pine or cedar. So during our inspection, we found this pergola back here in this backyard. It's actually constructed of cedar, and if you look directly up underneath here in these boards, you can actually see where the carpenter bees have actually drilled up into the wood. And then the female, what she'll do is she'll create chambers inside that wood and lay her eggs. She'll lay a ball of pollen in each one of those chambers so that when the egg hatches, the larva stage has a food source to feed on. Once they've matured, then of course the bees will actually exit the holes and go on about their way. So another thing we can look for too is sawdust. We call it frass. It's a very coarse material, and usually you'll find that laying down up underneath where the holes are drilled. If you have a patio or a table or something like that, or chairs out up underneath your covering where the carpenter bees are, that wood shavings or frass will actually fall onto that area. So that's another thing that you can look for as well. So we've identified where our problem's coming from, so now it's time to do our treatment. So upon further inspection, we can see here where we've got some older tunnels that have been developed. These are probably a year or two old. I know that because the coloration of the wood inside is a really darker color. Also, the edges of the holes are really worn. Back over here, we've got some newer holes where the edges of the hole are actually really crisp and sharp. And of course, the inside of the wood, the coloration it resembles new wood. So we know those are newer holes. So even though these older holes may not have any activity, certainly the carpenter bees can reuse these holes. So we're going to go ahead and treat those as well as the newer holes that have been developed. So we're going to get started here in just a second. Okay, so I've got my PP&E on, my personal protective equipment, which includes gloves, of course, and eyeglasses, and some sort of a mask. You always want to make sure you protect yourself anytime you're using pesticides. So we're going to start with the FitPro aerosol. This product contains fipronil, and it's a foam. It's got a 30-to-1 expansion rate, and so when we put this product inside these galleries, it's going to expand and fill them completely up. So we're going to start here with these galleries, and we're just going to inject the foam. And we want to just spend maybe 3 or 4 seconds in each gallery to make sure it gets completely filled. And we're going to move along on the other side of the pergola. We're just going to work our way around, making sure that we've got every hole filled with the FitPro. And then once we complete that, then we'll go back and we're going to take some wood putty and we're going to putty up all these holes to try to prevent reinfestation into those holes. So we've completed our treatment with the FitPro aerosol. We've puttied up all the holes. Now it's time to do a preventative treatment. We're going to use the Dominion 2L. I've got some already mixed up in a sprayer. We're going to start in one corner and we're going to work our way all the way around the pergola until we're complete. As you work your way around, you want to make sure that you're just spraying the wood to the point of wet. This will provide us a residual that will last for several weeks up to months. Okay, so we finished up our job. A couple of things to keep in mind. Your carpenter bee adults actually overwinter in the nest, then emerge in the early springtime. So the best time to treat is at the end of the winter months and the first part of the spring. On your preventative treatment, I would probably spray at least 2 or 3 times during the spring and first part of the summer. For more information, check out our how-to videos at solutionstores.com. I'm Keith McCoy with Solutions Pest and Lawn. Ask us how, then do it yourself.